Hi, I'm Tina, and I just want to tell you all about the super exciting project that I'm working on. I am launching a new membership portal, and I'd love to just take the opportunity to tell you all about it, why I'm putting all of this together, and why and how I think that you can, number one, benefit massively from it, and two, right now, I'm looking for some help. So this video is all about asking you for your help as well. So, my membership portal is about to be launched in probably a month or two's time, and right now I'm looking for some alpha testers. And in this membership portal, every single detail is going to be covered, and I'll be telling you what's in it in a little while, but it's going to be all of my best training that you can get your hands on. Now, here's the thing with this new membership portal. I'm going to have lots of information in there which I've been teaching over the last 5 years. I've also got an awful lot of new stuff. And over the last 5 years, some of what I've done, although is good, things are changing. You know, the way that things work on the internet are changing. So I'm going to be taking some of my old stuff and I'm going to be updating it. And some of that is going to be really radical, because one of the things that I'm passionate about doing is starting a revolution of the way that webinars and speaking are done, basically. I think we're all getting sick and tired of the old way of doing it. And again, I'm going to elaborate on this shortly. But what's really important to me is I want to create a community of people who are like-minded and think the same way as I do about the whole idea of speaking, and particularly when it comes to speaking to sell. Because for me, although I've got a background in training and development and public speaking, I'm really passionate about helping people to use speaking to attract more clients or customers. All right, that's bottom line what it's all about. It's all about attracting clients and customers. But as soon as I start talking about client attraction, I know exactly what you're thinking, right? You're thinking, oh no, not sales. And I've even spoken the dreaded words already, speaking to sell. Now, here's the thing, and if you're anything like me, there's a bit of a problem around selling. There's a bit of a problem around the whole getting out there, getting on stage or a webinar or whatever it is, and speaking in a way to sell. And I'd like to just share a little bit of my story as to why I also have struggled with this very idea. It all started for me way back in the 80s. When I found myself, I started my working career in a building society and found myself having to work in the field of insurance. And I started off just doing mortgages, and then all of a sudden we started getting into the financial services and selling it. I became essentially an insurance salesperson. And we were taught massively to sell, and I hated it. And it wasn't long before I realized that selling didn't fit with my personal values. And I got stressed and depressed and anxious. And eventually I ended up leaving the industry. So I had this great big kind of aha moment, if you like, that selling wasn't for me. And then I went into training and development, loved what I did, started, you know, learning heaps about educating people, found that I absolutely loved that. So here's the thing, I kind of made the decision that was it for me. I was never ever going to sell again, which was all fine and dandy. But then when I was working in the corporate world, and that too became really stressful, and I decided, you know, blow this for a game of soldiers, I'm off to go and work for myself, I still had this thing in my head that, no, I wasn't a seller. I was an educator. I wanted to help people. My mission was to help people, to teach people, and I was not a salesperson. And it wasn't long before I realised, well, actually, tell a lie, it was quite a long time before the penny dropped, that I wasn't getting anywhere and my business wasn't successful because I had this aversion to selling. So I kind of then, you know, looked at what I was doing with my business back then, and I was, you know, speaking in loads of places. I was getting great feedback. People loved my training. People loved my presentations. People loved my speeches. And I would talk anywhere, you know, chambers of commerce, business networking breakfasts, you know, wherever there was a speaker required, it was me. And people loved it. But I never sold anything. And I was broke. In fact, I ended up going bankrupt. Not just because of the business, because of you know, getting divorced and an ex-husband who left me with lots of debts as well, but that's another story. But I ended up going bankrupt. And then I kind of had another aha moment, and it was education alone isn't enough. If I'm going to be self-employed, if I'm going to work for myself, if I'm going to have my own business, I do actually need to learn how to sell it and how to promote myself. So I started doing all of the courses and the training and all the rest of it. And yeah, I started becoming successful. I changed the way that I was doing things, and I built the sale into my presentations. But then the more successful I became, and I started joining mastermind groups, and I started learning more and more, I got sucked into this thing about it all being manipulative and hard sell. And before I knew it, bam, I was right back there in the 80s again, feeling uncomfortable about what I was doing. It didn't sit with my values, and I had this, you know, other aha moment, which had kind of taken me in full circle, and it was, nope, I don't like this. This definitely does not fit with my values. And I didn't know what to do. I ended up taking a year off. I was offered an opportunity where to work on a year-long contract where, well, number one, the offer was too good and I couldn't refuse it. Number two, I was helping a friend out. And number three, I needed to figure out what the heck I was going to do about promoting myself, and because I did not like this, you know, way that I was being taught to do it. Now, during this time, I was able to take a step back and really look at what was going. I did a lot of research, and the other aha moment that I came to was that, you know what, you can be nice and actually sell. You know, you don't have to be this dishonest rogue car salesman, manipulative type of speaker in order to be successful. You can be successful and be a nice, genuine person who has values and integrity and, you know, puts your customer first and all the rest of it. It absolutely is possible, and I wanted to set out and prove that this was so. And I'm very glad to say that that is exactly what I've done since finishing my contract, and certainly over the last 8 months. I have probably done more in the last 8 months than I did in the previous 5 years put together. And I've done it retaining my integrity, being able to sleep at night, and feeling good about myself, as well as successfully supporting myself over here in my new, you know, lifestyle in Spain, which is rather cool. So what I want to do is share what I've learned, and this is part of the membership portal. But the big thing, the big aha moment for me is that most people, when it comes to the idea of sales and speaking to sell, they're operating from an all or nothing, you know, point of view. They're either all education, they're all, you know, great content, great value, and there's no sales, and they end up frustrated and struggling to get clients. Or there's no value, and it's all about the sale, yeah, and it's all about the hype and the hot air. But actually what it needs to be is a balance, somewhere in the middle, and I've discovered what that somewhere in the middle actually is. I say I've discovered, I haven't suddenly woken up in the morning like Aristotle. I've discovered it through reading, through watching videos, through looking at modeling and experimenting and trying. And everything that I've learned from various places, I've put together, and I've experimented with it, and yeah, it's working. I've also worked with coaches. So I've picked out some amazing coaches who've been mentoring me, and this is what I'm discovering, and I want to share this with everybody who is following me, who also wants to attract more clients, but do it in a way which is heart-centered and full of genuine integrity, not pretend, declared integrity. Okay, and this is what it's all about. It's about building desire in people. And you can build that desire through giving great value, through giving amazing content, but at the same time, you can keep hold of your respect, honesty, integrity, and follow an ethical code. So that's basically where I'm coming from. And you know, how does that sound to you? Does that sound awesome or what? You know, if this is something that you feel is for you, yeah? So do you think that, you know, working to sell in a way which builds desire in your clients so that they want to buy from you, but you keep hold of your integrity, if that's something that you want, yeah, then this is the place for you. So let's put this now in an overall picture, speaking to attract clients then, while keeping that integrity. The foundation of it all is the presentation. You want a really killer presentation that people are going to love and going to get a lot out of. And then we need to tweak that killer presentation for the event that you're working with, whether that be on stage or in meetings, and that could be networking meetings or little, you know, board meetings, all sorts of different things. It can be online through webinars or videos. And nowadays, you know, we've got a lot of the whole Facebook Lives, YouTube Lives going on as well. And if you put a killer presentation in any of these situations, you will end up with clients and sales, and you can hold on to your integrity and self-worth and respect and all the rest of it as well. And the other thing is, part of this whole thing is about being you and sharing your voice, not one shoe fits all presentation that everybody seems to be using at the moment. You know, where everybody's sick and tired of that, you know, the whole long personal story based on the hero's journey. And you know, yeah, there are places for that, but let's not in a webinar or a speech, you know. So anyway, this is something I'm also going to be covering within my membership portal. So what else is in there? Oh, first of all, the other thing about speaking at any of these events is it's not just the speech at the time. It's not just the webinar at the time. It's how it fits in your overall marketing funnel. All right, and that's everything from attracting the attention of your prospective clients in the first place, to gaining their interest, building know, like, and trust, creating a desire in them to work with you, and then getting them to take action. And then, of course, the follow-up, keeping them, nurturing them, creating absolute raving fans, and all the rest of it. Okay, so that it's not just about the talk, the presentation, or the webinar at the time. It's about how the whole thing connects together, and it's about how you join the dots with all of this. So, like I said, the whole purpose of me telling you all that is because I am launching this new membership site, this new portal, where I'm going to have lots of new training in there based on my new thinking. I've got the confidence now to challenge some of these big boys out there and say, no, you don't, it doesn't have to be that way. And I've actually proved it. You know, again, I've had a bumper month, more than I've done in the last few months put together, and certainly the last few months I've been more successful than in the previous 5 years put together. So I'm looking for people to test this so that you can try it for yourself. And what I've got covered in here is the whole speaking to self thing and doing it my way. I say my way, it's not just me. You know, there are people out there who have got integrity, who are selling really well. And I'm taking the best bits out of all of them, putting it together in a way that feels really comfortable for me. And, you know, if you're like me, I hope it feels comfortable for you too. I am particularly helping people with webinars and my webinar blueprint based on the 5 Ps, and bringing all of this integrity in. So I am making changes to what I've done before, which reflects my new way of thinking and the way that the internet is going now. It's changed. It's different now to what it was 2 years ago. Very different. I'm also updating my 5-star speaker system, and this is something which is really important. It's not just about the killer presentation, which is the K bit, but there are lots of other parts to it as well. There's developing your expert status through your own sort of model, if you like, or signature system that you can be recognized by, and it is yours and it's unique to you. Because you know, I'm sure that one of the questions that you've had is, yeah, but how do I differentiate myself from all the others out there? Yeah, And the way that you do that is by a model which is framing what you teach in a way which is unique to you. Yeah, how good does that sound? Nobody else will have it. This will be yours. That's awesome, isn't it? Yeah. So then, of course, I'm going to be teaching you everything about the whole funnel process and how it all fits in, and the big thing, which is your story. How to do it so that you're not boring the pants off everybody, how to make it relevant to your audience, just picking out the little stories. It hasn't got to be a life story of when I was 6, this happened, and then from here on, and etc., etc. And it's about just picking the bits out of your story which are relevant for the message that you're giving at the time. So I'm going to be doing a lot of stuff on that. Also, there's going to be technical stuff. There's going to be how to get the best out of Facebook Lives and YouTube. And I'm going to start looking at how you can start using Instagram, the video on Instagram. The key thing, though, is the community. And it's going to be a regular member-only masterclass every month. I don't know how many sessions I'm going to do yet. I'm kind of going fortnightly at the moment, but if the demand is there, we'll do it weekly. If people say, no, actually once a month is enough, we'll do it monthly, but maybe a couple of extra sessions put in. But they're going to be masterclasses. They're going to be opportunities for you to ask questions. So there's loads and loads of stuff in this. Now, how much is all of that worth? Well, I'm not going to do the tried and tested thing of saying this is worth that much and this is worth that much, and then add it all together and overinflate everything and give a stupid price. If all this is worth that you get one extra client, what would that be worth to you? If what this means is that you can get an extra client every month, what would that be worth to you? If what it does is give you hope that I haven't got to be a slimy car salesman, what would that be worth to you? Now, the actual value is probably priceless, because it's changing things. It's getting you to do things in a way which will sit with your values, which will feel comfortable, but at the same time that you will start making sales. Now, I'm going to be launching this at $47 a month as a continuity program. I might even make it more than that later on, but I'll be launching it at $47 a month. But to start with, I'm not going to be, for my alpha testers, that's not what you'll pay. You will get a lifetime access for just a one-off payment of $47. I must be crazy, I know. And I bet you're thinking, my goodness, that's a lot of content and a lot of information for just $47. Yeah, it is. And you might even kind of think, oh my God, there's so much in there. I'm going to take you step by step. What you need to do, everybody's going to be at a different place, but just imagine if we can start picking out the right bits of training for you that's going to get you on the next level of your journey to getting more customers, but in a way which feels totally comfortable. Now, that's got to be worth $47, am I right? So if that's you, I'm only going to be taking 50 alpha members because I want to create this community, and then I'm going to be doubling the price to $97. I'm speaking at a conference shortly where a lot of those places are going to get snapped up. I've already started acquiring members already. So if this is something for you, then quite simply come and join us. Start learning about funnels. Start doing the whole speaking thing, making webinars, and basically turning what you've got into a little money-making machine. So that's pretty much it. That's everything that I wanted to tell you about my little project and about how you can benefit from all of this amazing new updated learning and how you can help me by being an alpha tester. And what does an alpha tester mean? Well, basically that's it. You've got to test everything. And I'm going to be honest. Right now, I have already set the date for the first meeting, which is going to be Wednesday, the 8th of March. There isn't anything as yet in the actual membership portal, so all of this is going to be uploaded shortly over the coming weeks, and it'll probably take me a good couple of months to get everything in there exactly how I want it. What I want you to test for me is the links. Does everything work? What you want, let me know what you feel would be helpful, what might be missing, and then I take that feedback and I actually deliver what you want to learn, not what I think you want to learn. So the whole point of the Alpha membership as well is for you to interact with me on these meetings, tell me what you want, tell me what you like, tell me what you don't like, and I promise to give you, put my hand on my heart here, and I promise to give you the best possible training that I have in my power to give you. So if that's something that sounds good to you, yeah, and I hope it does, let me know. And if it is something that sounds good to you, then reserve your spot. The link is below this video. So yeah, come and join us. And is that awesome or what? So I look forward to having you on board, and I'll see you soon.